Have you ever looked up at a giant skyscraper and just wondered, how do we know this thing is safe? Well, it's not just blind trust, that's for sure. It's a really rigorous system of checks and balances. And right at the heart of that system is one single powerful document that acts as construction's ultimate quality gatekeeper.
I mean, think about it. Once the concrete gets poured over all that steel rebar, it's gone. Once the walls are closed up over the plumbing and electrical wiring, you can't see it anymore. You just have to trust that it was all done right. So how does the industry actually guarantee the quality of all the parts of a building that will be hidden from view forever?
Well, the answer isn't just crossing your fingers. It's a formal checkpoint. It's basically a mandatory stop sign in the whole construction process. This creates a really clear, documented trail of quality control at every single critical step. It makes sure nothing, and I mean nothing, gets covered up until it's been given the official green light.
And that solution, that critical checkpoint, is called the inspection request. So let's decode this thing. We're going to break down exactly what this document is and why it's so incredibly important for building anything safely.
Okay, so, put simply, an inspection request, or just IR as you'll hear on site, is the official way a contractor basically raises their hand and says, hey, we've finished this specific task, like laying the rebar for a foundation, and we're confident it's done perfectly. Can you please come verify it so we can move on to the next step? It's a formal request for a quality check before anything else can happen.
But an IR is so much more than just a piece of paper. It has 4 really core jobs. First, it's all about quality assurance, right? Checking the work against the plans. Second, it controls the sequence. You can't put up the walls until the electrical inspection is passed. Make sense? Third, it creates accountability. Everything is signed, creating a permanent record. And, pretty importantly, it's often a payment milestone. That approval can literally unlock the money for the work that was just completed.
Now, to really get how this works, we've got to look at what's actually on the form itself, because it's the details here that make the whole process so precise and so powerful.
So every single IR gets a unique tracking number and a date. It points to the exact location. We're talking down to the floor, the zone, and the discipline. So is this civil work, mechanical, electrical? And here's the crucial part. It references the specific project drawings and plans it's supposed to match. Then it gives a detailed scope of the work being inspected. There is absolutely no room for confusion. And get this, the form doesn't just show up by itself. It comes with backup, with proof. The contractor has to attach all these essential documents, like the approved drawings, reports showing the materials were inspected, and even their own internal pre-inspection checklists. It basically proves to the inspector that they've done all their homework before even asking for the official review.
So what actually happens once that IR is filled out and submitted? Okay, let's follow its journey, because the process, the workflow, is just as important as the document itself.
It's a really clear 5-step process. First, the contractor preps the work and does their own check. Then, they submit the IR to the consultant. The consultant's team then reviews all the paperwork, before anyone even goes to the site. After that, you get the official on-site inspection. And that leads to the final step, the verdict. Think of each step like getting a stamp in a passport. You simply cannot move on to the next country or the next stage without it.
And here's a really key detail about that process. It's not instant. An IR is typically submitted a full 24 hours in advance. Now, why is that? It gives the consultant's inspection team the time they need to properly review all those documents, ask any questions, and actually schedule the on-site visit without holding up the whole project. It's all about smooth planning and coordination. Okay, so after the inspector has been to the site, after they've checked the work against the plans, we get to the moment of truth, the final verdict. There are a few ways this can go, and the outcome determines everything that happens next.
All right, the best case scenario, the one everyone's hoping for. Approved. Simple as that. This means the work is perfect. It meets all the specs and standards. The contractor gets the green light, and they can immediately start on the next phase of construction. That stop sign is officially lifted.
Yeah, a much more common outcome is approved with comments. So, what does this mean? It means the work is fundamentally okay, it's safe, and the project can move forward. But there are a few minor things that need to be corrected. The project doesn't grind to a halt, which is great, but the contractor is now on the hook to fix those small issues as they go.
And then there's the one nobody wants to see: revise and resubmit. This is, plain and simple, a failure. The work does not meet the standards. And when this happens, all progress on that part of the job stops dead. The contractor has to go back, fix the problem completely, and then submit a brand new inspection request, starting the whole process all over again.
Now, it's also important to know that not all inspections are created equal. You've got two main types. A hold point is exactly what it sounds like, a hard stop. Think about pouring concrete. You absolutely, positively cannot proceed without an inspector's signature. Then you have a witness point. This one's a bit softer. The inspector is invited to come and watch, but if they don't show up within a certain time frame, the contractor is allowed to move on.
And then there's a third type, kind of a wild card, the surveillance point. You can just think of this as the pop quiz of construction. It's a totally random, unscheduled check by the consultant. It's their way of making sure high-quality work is happening all the time, not just when an inspection is coming up. It definitely keeps everyone on their toes.
So really, when you boil it all down, this whole system is about one thing: accountability. The inspection request isn't just a to-do list, it's the very backbone of a project's quality. Every single one of those signed forms becomes a permanent part of the project's history, creating this auditable trail that proves every critical step was checked and verified from the ground up.
So the next time you walk into any building, your office, a mall, your home, just take a second. Think about the thousands of hidden parts, the steel in the columns, the wiring in the walls, the pipes under the floor. And just imagine that invisible chain of approvals, the countless signed-off inspection requests, that all had to happen perfectly to make that space safe for you. It's this incredible hidden world of quality control that we all rely on every single day.